Yep, let's do this, man. It is football day in America. He's Keg, I'm Holden, and we're going to break down Monday Night Football for you. We'll get some bets there. We got some fun things happening in the NFL. You know, Keg, I say hi first. I don't even want to wait, though. I got to show you this Lions play because you were busy at Abby's wrestling tournament, so I get it. The Lions did something yesterday that was absolutely brilliant, but how are you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good, buddy. I'm very happy on this Monday. A lot happier than I was last week. We had a very good weekend. Picked up about 14 units on the weekend for the subs. Gave about 4 back last night. Unfortunately, wish we had a better Sunday night football, but all in all, can't complain. Looking forward to tonight's show.
Well, why don't you watch this, pal? Look at what Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions did yesterday. This is fascinating.
All right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Daisy double drop.
Not only him. Oh,
That's fantastic.
But it doesn't matter.
Fantastic.
play of the year, dude. Play of the year right
Love
there. I mean,
Love
how do you hey, dude, let's just act like you're going to trip and Gibbs is going to trip and then throw it deep to Jameson Williams.
I wish I got to watch that game, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. But what we expected out of Gibbs if he got a full workload is exactly what happened. 23 for 109, 4 for 45 catching balls.
Mhm.
The kid is a stud. He is a true number one. I don't know. I like David Montgomery too, but I just think that this is the guy, man. This is the guy.
He's amazing. He really is. And he handled the full workload. We talk about, can he handle the full workload? It's one game, but the Lions are fine there. The amount of injuries that they had and the fact that they can go in there and wax the Bears like that. Ben Johnson's probably going to take the Bears job at this point. He's such a good play caller. And I know he's got some weapons, Amon-Ra, Williams, Gibbs, Montgomery, and Laporta, but this guy's done a really good job.
Yeah, you know, I'll tell you, like, I know Caleb Williams gets all the hype, right? But let's say they did have a good offensive line. Now, because that's the excuse everybody is making for him right now, right?
Mhm.
Let's say that he had an offensive line. I can't say for sure that he would be your favorite to be rookie of the year over Jaden Daniels.
No.
Right?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree.
Well, let's get into tonight's game, my friend. Like button would be great if you want to hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe to 1 week, let me get this up here. There it is. Okay. 1 week, Nuke the Holidays. Nuke the Holidays is the 1 week code for a free trial. If you want to sign up, go to nukethehouse.com. You can also buy a month, $59.99. Hit the like button. Let's get into this thing. So tonight, 8:10 Eastern is the live broadcast here for live betting. The Packers and the Saints. Green Bay. It'll be chilly tonight. Maybe get a couple snow showers. That'd be nice too. Keg, this line has moved to 14.5 now. I saw 14 a little while ago. Now it's Packers minus 14.5 at home. 43.5 is the total. So the book is saying, hey, maybe we got a bludgeoning tonight. I want to get into the Josh Jacobs props in a minute because they're almost unbettable. 14.5 to me is unbettable. What do you think about this spread?
I think our power ratings have this game 11 on a neutral and 13.5 in Green Bay. Okay. So I agree. I think this line feels aggressive. If I think the line should be on the other side of 14. So if I was going to bet the spread, I would probably take the 14.5. It's gross because Rattler's playing quarterback and they don't have any weapons at all. But if I was going to bet the spread tonight, I would probably be taking the points. As far as the total, I'd probably stay away from the full game total, and I would attack team totals for whatever team that you guys like. Like I would much rather bet Green Bay over 27.5 minus $1.30 than I would to get involved at 43.5, because you just don't know what you're going to get from New Orleans. Like I'd also probably would rather bet the New Orleans team total under before I would get involved with the full game total. So that's where I'm at right now. Out of everything I just said, I would say that probably the Packers team total I like the most. And I'll be looking to attack the props market. Also, one bet that I saw that I really don't mind, the Green Bay Packers to win both halves at minus 130. I just don't think you're going to get that coming through the back door kind of scenario with a New Orleans team that's going to really struggle to move the football. So that's probably my favorite look in terms of a side and total. They win both halves at minus 130, but I have yet to make a bet in this game. Adam and I will be in a room immediately, probably following the show.
So that is not halftime, full time either. That is the Packers to win both halves. So they got to win both halves. You start new in the second half.
Right.
Just so everybody knows. Josh Jacobs, minus 320 to score a touchdown. You kidding? Plus 170 to get 2. How often do you see that? His 90 yards is minus money, minus 10. His 100 yards is plus 20, plus 120. Like, they don't want you betting him.
Yeah, I mean, if you're betting him tonight, you're betting him to have a legacy night where he gets to 120 or 130. That's basically the only way you could really get involved with him, unless you're betting the under. But I don't know how you could do that against a team that cannot tackle. So, I mean, they might be the worst tackling team in the National Football League, and that's no bullshit. So, I mean, I would be looking for Jacobs to nuke. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but do I think he can go 20 for 130 tonight? I do. Yeah, against this team, I do.
Love's passing yards, 231.5, minus 20. Under 231.5 is minus 10. Rattler's passing yards, 182.5. I have a hard time thinking Rattler's going to get to 182 tonight.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
I probably agree with you. It's a lot of short passes, man. You're going to see guys that catch 5 balls tonight for 40. You know what I mean? Or 38.
Yep.
But I'll tell you what, Holden, if you look at the reception numbers on these guys on New Orleans, like some of these guys are like 4+ receptions at 3-1, 5+ receptions at 7-8-1. So, I mean, like there's value there if you think one of these guys catches 5 passes tonight.
I mean, this will be Rattler's first outdoor game, by the way. It is going to be cold. Huh?
Ever as a starter? I
mean, in the NFL, he hasn't had that many starts, but, go look at him here. The guy's got what? 243, 172, 156, 135, all at home, right? All at home. So this will be his first outdoor start. And why is it 230? Why is it 182? I don't get it. Like, to me, this should not be 182. This should be in the 160s.
But it's very hard to lay a number in the 160s in an NFL game with an NFL quarterback.
Well, is it 182?
I know, but I'm just saying, like, I mean, what are you going to line the guy at? 158?
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there's projections that got him at 200 yards. I keep looking at this saying, how is he going to get that many yards?
Well, also, you have to think he probably, if this game goes the way you and I think it's going to go, they're playing from behind for 3 quarters. He might throw the ball 55 times tonight. I mean, think about it. Like he might have no choice. So I would be scared to bet the under just because I think that he's going to be throwing the football a lot.
Okay.
Jeff has a good point. Do you think they scaled Jacobs back after a 29 carry game against a shitty team? That's always possible. And to be honest, you just never know what LaFleur is going to do. I mean, sometimes he's up 30 and, Jordan Love is still throwing the football. You just don't know what they're going to do. But yeah, that's a fair point. After a 29 carry game, you would think maybe they give him a little bit of a break, but that's not a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Brooks comes in for a little bit. Emmanuel Wilson will probably come in for a little bit. Jacobs just been the workhorse. But again, if you and I are on the same page here thinking this is going to be ugly, right? Then maybe Jacobs has to get everything he needs to get in 3 1/4 quarters.
Maybe. Yeah, that's definitely possible. Yeah. Like Meyer said he doesn't mind the Emmanuel anytime touchdown at like 6.5 to 1 in case he gets a lot of work late in the game.
Yeah,
I guess that's possible. That could definitely happen. I think that Jacobs has a big first quarter. Like he could have 40 or 50 by the end of the first quarter. And you know what? The sports books know that too. And right now, I think him to get 40 rushing yards in the first quarter is 3 to 1. 40 rushing yards in the first quarter.
That's a lot.
3 to 1. 45 is 4 to 1. If you go through the game logs, he's gotten 40 more than a couple times in the first quarter.
So that's going to be in play, first quarter rushing yards?
It could be in play, yeah. It could be. And also, they might have the ball for 12 minutes in the first quarter. I mean, Rattler could go 3 and out twice. And it's a 12-minute first quarter.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he could have 60 at the end of the first quarter, literally, and never mind if he breaks one. So, I mean, yeah, that's probably in play tonight.
Okay. Well, there you go. Emmanuel Wilson, 750 to get in on DK. Chris Brooks, 650 on DK. Wilson, 16.5 rush yards. 25 plus is 186. I mean, again, we got to figure out which backup's going to play them, because it could be Emmanuel Wilson, but it could be Chris Brooks. We're talking about LaFleur here, right?
Right.
I'm just throwing out both sides of the conversation. Like, I like that. I like 16.5 yards and can definitely get there, but is he going to get the work or what? I don't know.
Oh, Buzzer Beater said, I guess I don't exist.
Oh, I just saw your comment. One of their backup running backs get in, ? You matter, Buzzer Beater.
He said, I must be.
You are not shadow banned.
My guy, you're not shadow banned.
You're somebody we like a lot.
One of their backup running backs get in. You would think, yeah, that's what we're talking about. But we just like knowing which one is hard to figure that out.
It's very difficult to figure it out. And again, you can go through the game logs. Maybe they both get some work, but I don't know. And these Packer games seem to go really slow too, don't they?
I mean, like, you just don't know what you're going to get to. Like, Josh Jacobs, they were up like 30, and he threw a 50-yard play on the last play of the game, a 50-yard ball in the air. Like, I mean, if you look at the numbers, Holden, like, Jordan Love is like 5 and change.
Yeah.
Throw for 300 in this game. They could be up 30, and he still might be throwing the football. It's just a tough game to figure out, man. Also, bad, shitty quarterbacks tend to hold on to the football a lot. In 3 out of the 4 games, Rattler's been sacked 3 times, 5 times, and 6 times. If you go and look, you can get the Packers at 5+ sacks in the game at about 330. You could probably get about 6 to 1 on 6 sacks in the game. Both of those are a possibility tonight as well. There are a lot of interesting looks tonight, and obviously Meyer will be firing. But it's just knowing where to go, you know.
It is, and it's not an easy thing. So here, Iowa, one more. Why doesn't he just hop on the show? Oh yeah, he'd get in trouble. Interested if you think Green Bay gets a touchdown on their first drive. Love pass TD 4 to 1. Jacobs score a TD 8 to 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that either.
It's just a lot of angles, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Jeff, you got to pick a game script and go with it. Lots of people on Jacobs. See, that's the other thing. Like, we do pick game scripts, but at what point in time do we just follow the numbers? Are there just numbers you have that you can look at and say, okay, this, and this? Because predicting a game script is not easy to do. And then B, predicting the yards in the game script is not easy to do. It makes it tougher to do.
I think both of you are correct. I think that it's probably 50-50.
Okay.
Like pregame plays, you're betting whatever value there is on the board for sure. But you're also doing that with how you think that game is going to happen in your mind, what way the game script will go. So it's really like a combination of both is how you get to your pregame plays in the NFL. But yeah, I agree with the both of you.
Okay, we're done with that. We're going to move on. Smash the like button. And again, if you're just joining us for the first time or you've been here a while and you're like, I don't know if I want to sign up or not. What do I do? What do I do? Well, we send you real-time in-game betting notifications right to your phone. Okay? So you sign up, you get in our Discord. Whenever Keg or one of our cappers makes a bet, they put it in there. You get it right to your phone. You don't got to watch our shows. Like tonight, you want to hang out with your buddies. You'll sit there. They'll go, hey, why you keep picking up your phone? You go, because I'm placing winners. So we'll send you the bet, the number, and the book. And that's all you got to tell your friends. I got the bet, the number, and the book. Don't give them to your friends because you want the money. They don't want the money. So you got that. Go to nukethehouse.com, click subscribe, put in the code Nuke the Holidays, or just sign up for $59.99. $59.99. Very easy.
I've only lost money 1 month since April. So it's definitely worth signing up to Nuke the House. Plus other handicappers here make money and are profitable. You will not regret it.
Okay. The first thing you talked to me about, let's talk about this Washington-Philly game yesterday because Philly just blew it. Now, you could say it's because Jalen Hurts got concussed and he is in protocol. Remember that number 1 seed for the Eagles? Basically dead. Done. Yep. Hurts left. The offense didn't. I mean, Pickett moved the ball a couple of times, but defensively, the Eagles just fell flat against Daniels, and he did it again. Final minute drive, touchdown pass. He does it. So 2 ways of looking at this here. Both teams are playoff teams. First of all, Daniels is a total stud, and he wrapped up the Offensive Player of the Year yesterday. Like, if anybody thought it was going to be Bo Nix or Brock Bowers, that's not happening anymore.
Oh,
not
you mean
this dude
rookie?
Did.
Offensive
rookie of the
rookie.
Year. Yeah. Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah,
Hurts is out yesterday, and he's in concussion protocol. This could be bad news for the Eagles, man. Really, like dropping them to the 3 seed.
Yeah. I mean, Daniels, like in a game, he had 5 touchdown passes. The kid's balling, man. He's good. He's really good. Really good. I worry about his health long term because of how skinny and how small he is. But and on top of that, he goes 9 carries for 81 yards. He was a one-man show, and he basically put that team on his back and beat them by himself because he didn't have any help from the offense. I mean, the defense. I mean, the Eagles hung 33. So and 22. Wow, they scored 22 in the last quarter, Holden.
Yeah,
what happened?
It was just Daniels, man. Daniels had big plays, time and time and time.
Was it multiple? Was it like multiple turnovers in the fourth quarter?
It was more back and forth than anything else, Kegger. I mean, it really was. It was 2 teams that were just going up and down. I mean, they scored 69 points in the game, dude. 69. Let me go back and look at this real quick because I'm looking at the end of the game here. It was just pass.
I mean, they were down what then 30-12 in the fourth, going into the fourth.
They were down big. I don't think it was 30-12, was it?
Well, they hung 22.
Yeah, 22. Fourth. So they put points up. They were down big. Let's just put it that way. Kenny Pickett really didn't move the ball that well in the fourth. Although I think the Eagles got a couple of field goals or maybe a touchdown in a game. And then that was it. The fourth quarter was just rough. Yeah, it was 2 field goals by the Eagles in the fourth quarter, and the Commanders just came out and went nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, they were impressive. There was a very impressive win by Washington. A little bit shaky heading into their bye week. Came out of the bye week, got a win. Now they beat the Eagles.
I know we say it every week, but what an incredible year from Saquon Barkley. Another week he goes for 150 and 2 touchdowns.
No, you're right, JW. They're going to be the number 2 seed because they're going to win the division. You're right. Let me go look at the playoff picture again. I've only looked at this thing 3 times today. Let me go look at it one more time because we have the Lions up top, Eagles number 2 for now, And then the Vikings are 5. Those are the 3 best teams. Rams, Falcons, Packers, Commanders. Boy, you want to talk about the Bucs. They hurt themselves last night. They're 8-7. The Falcons are 8-7. All of a sudden, the Bucs are on the outside looking in. The Falcons.
Yeah, they cracked that door wide open in a game where they had to get that done. They were the better team last night going into that game, and they just shit the bed. They just could not get it going offensively. And now Atlanta's got, Atlanta's live.
So the Bucs hurt themselves last night. We talked about the Lions, or I showed you the play where Goff and Gibbs both fell down. But this team, man, the injuries, they got over it. They beat the hell out of the Bears yesterday. Now, again, they're going to play better teams as the playoffs get here. And they're going to have a little bit of time to get healthy, too. They should have a bye if they continue this. They might not, though. Maybe the Vikings get in there. But this Lions team, I think that loss might have been the best thing for them, Keg, because they came out determined and they shoved it right down the Bears' throats. Very impressed with what Campbell did with this team a week after that bad loss.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm struggling with how to line these Lions games because they are clearly, when fully healthy, the best team in the National Football League, and it is not close. But with all these starters down, 6 out of 7 guys in the front 7 that started opening day are not on the field today. So how do you line them? Like, what is the deduction for all the players that they are missing? I don't know. It's getting hard. It's like, are they still the best team in the league right now? Even down all these guys, they might be still, but it's getting a lot closer. And that's the reason why I think we're going to see these Lions lines down the stretch probably not be as high as we think they should. Yeah. Because of the amount of players that are hurt on the team. You have to inevitably deduct points off the line for these injuries. So we might be able to get a discount down the stretch on them.
So the next team is the Vikings. They're down 4 with 4 minutes to go. They're down 4. Darnold to Jefferson, right? And then the defense for Minnesota, which has been great all year, especially as of late, shut down the Seahawks, who scored 24 points, but 27-24 Minnesota over the Seahawks. I'm done with the lucky narrative. I was wrong. This team's terrific. If you can go on the road in Seattle, bad weather game, and do what they did and come back yet again. Darnold wasn't great, but Darnold wasn't bad. I'd say Darnold was good. 22 at 35, not great, but 246, 3 touchdowns, no turnovers again. Jefferson, 10 for 144, 2 more touchdowns. These guys are cooking, man. These guys are cooking. And for Seattle on that side, you can't just pass the ball all the time. It doesn't work for you.
Yeah. Listen, you got to take the Minnesota Vikings seriously. The joke's over. They're 13-2. This is just what they are. O'Connell 100% has earned Coach of the Year. And they're going to be a problem. They're going to win it. They're going to be a problem, man. I think they're going to make some noise. They could make some noise in the playoffs. Matt says fully healthy, best team without a doubt is a stretch. No, it's not. They're the best offense by a mile with Rice and being hurt and Pacheco just easing his way back into the lineup. And they're the second. They went into this game yesterday, the best defense against the pass in the National Football League. They are the best team in the league when healthy right now. That is a fact. But yeah, the Minnesota Vikings are going to make some noise, Holden. And I got to tell you, I'm really happy for my guy, Johnny Brav. He rides or die with his team more than pretty much any of us do. And I really hope that they win some games for this kid in the playoffs. And it's just not another year where you make the playoffs and you lose in the first round,
Yeah. It's rough stuff there. All right. I mean, the Vikings have had a lot of problems. They did get the Diggs catch that one year, right? Who the hell was the quarterback for them when they had the miracle? and then they lost a nasty game. The Vikings fans have just been through a lot of hell, and especially if you're really old, like older than me, when you had to live through Fran Tarkenton losing 4 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls, like Vikings fans have just been treated like hell. So
I mean, the last time they made the playoffs, they got embarrassed by Danny Dimes. They lost to Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and that's not even near the worst loss they've had in the playoffs. Hey, Johnny, what's the worst? The 2 worst playoff losses the Vikings have had? It was Case Keenum, by the way. Wow, Johnny, what's the 2 worst playoff losses they've had since you've been there? I want to know. Seriously interested in that. All right, like button would be wonderful. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You're watching on X. Come on over to Nuke the House YouTube channel. We got to pick out a winner from last night for a free subscription.
Yeah,
that's terrific.
Yep, we'll announce that tonight.
Yeah, we'll announce that tonight on Monday Night Football. 8:10 Eastern is the start time of the show. Apparently, I was going to be there. Apparently, Keg's going to be there, and apparently, I'm going to be there. Saints 09. Andrew's saying the Saints in the 09 was bad. Yeah, that was pretty. There's just been a lot of bad times for the Vikings in the playoffs. But you can say the same thing about the Bills too. There's a Bills Vikings playoff Super Bowl. Who do you root for, Keg?
If there's a Bills Vikings, the Vikings. I'm rooting for Johnny.
Seattle missed field goal. That. Oh my God, that was an extra point. Basically, I forgot about that. And then the Favre OT interception in the NFC. Oh man, it's just been horrible, man. It's been horrible for these dudes. Yeah, the Seattle doink. You can't miss that kick. And it did. All right. Couple other things to get to. How about the Giants? They've lost 10 in a row.
I'll tell you, the only good thing about being a Jets fan
is
at least the Giants are in this town too, right? I mean, they're so bad. The Jets are just as bad. I mean, like, who are we kidding? It's not like we're any better.
They're bad.
Yeah. New York football, Holden, is down bad. Manhattan football is down bad.
It's rough. Yeah. And you had Locke throwing 2 more picks yesterday. Now, Michael Penix made his debut, and I don't know what the nation's saying about him. I thought he was fine. Like, I thought he was better than Kirk Cousins has looked the last 5 weeks prior. So, Michael Penix, 18 to 27, 202 and a pick.
I didn't get to watch.
I
didn't get to watch that game, right? Yeah. But what I will say is, I loved him at Washington. I think that he's got all the arm strength talent in the world. The problem is, will those knees, where he has had multiple surgeries, will they hold up getting hit in the National Football League? That is a big, big, big question. But if that kid can stay healthy, he is, for my money, at least coming out of Washington, he is a starter in this league long term.
So I would say this about Penix, though. It was great that he did that to the Giants defense. He's got to go to Washington next week, Sunday Night Football. And then they got the Panthers to end the season. The Panthers are playing tough, but like everybody thought the Bucs were just going to go in. The Falcons had collapsed. And again, the Falcons 8-7, the Bucs are 8-7, and the Falcons at this point have the tiebreaker.
Yeah. And we're on the Falcons to win the division. So hopefully we can get that home. For who do you think, for your money, is the best team in the AFC right now?
It's still the Bills.
I agree. But I hear a lot of people giving love to Baltimore.
Not the Chiefs. They're not the best team, but we gotta take the playoffs into account. And by the way, Mahomes is kind of good.
KC's always going to be the favorite. They should be. I mean, but again, they look like an 8-5 football team that just happens to be 13-1 or whatever they are. But last year they were an 8-5 football team. They looked completely lost. They went into the playoffs. They flipped the switch, almost as if they were just bored in the regular season. Like, it just doesn't mean enough to them anymore. And then, listen, can Mahomes do that again this year? Yeah, I'll never doubt him again after last year. I will never doubt him again. But I do think right now Buffalo is the best team in the AFC.
They're just getting it done, man. They're just getting it done. I want to go back to the Falcons just real quick. I told you the Falcons, Washington, and Carolina, their last 2 games. The Bucks, Carolina, and New Orleans. Carolina is going to play a major role in who wins the division, the NFC South.
And
Easiest schedule for the Bucks, but you don't know which Bucks team's showing up. Last night, the garbage Bucks team showed up.
Right. True. And Bryce Young's playing as well as he has on the pro level, right?
Yep.
So,
well, Iowa, good timing, because our next thing we were going to talk about was Tank Dell. Yes, he had the dislocated kneecap, but he also has a torn ACL. And Texans just picked up Deontay Johnson. I don't know how you incorporate him so quickly into the offense. We'll see. We've seen it before. But that Tank Dell thing was nasty. And Deontay's kind of nice possession receiver. Like, he was terrific in Carolina before he went to Baltimore, and they're just like, we can't use this guy. Then he quit on the team. He quit on the Steelers. He's quit on 2 teams. I do wonder if the Texans can incorporate him into the offense pretty quickly. But, now you're without Dell and Nico, and we've seen the secondary guys, Hutchinson, the rest of it, not very impressive. I'm fascinated to see how they get Johnson into the offense these last 2 weeks, Keg.
Listen, man, Tank Dell and Devin Achane were the real MVPs for the house yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the fact that he held on to that ball for us when we needed it for all that money, what a stud Tank Dell is. And I have never seen a quarterback so upset as Stroud was yesterday. I mean, he was bawling for an hour.
Yeah.
While that happened, it just goes to show you how close that team really is. But I think Deontay picking up him, that's the move. I mean, you need that guy that can go out there and get 10 grabs. Like Nico, could he get you 10 grabs? He could, but he's really that deep threat over the top is what he excels at for sure. I think it's a good move for the Texans to pick him up. Now, it looks like this guy's tough to deal with, even though I had never really heard anything about, problems in the locker room with him before this year. Maybe you have.
The Steelers.
Oh, okay.
He was a pain in the ass. Go ask Matt. I don't think Matty's here right now, but go ask Matty about that. Deontay was just a mess. All these guys the Steelers take are head cases.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a plug and play piece, though. So I like the move, taking the shot on him.
Yeah, well, again, I think it's a terrific move if it works out. And listen, you give him 2 weeks, what's he going to do? He's not going to detonate a locker room in 2 weeks. Famous last words. I just don't see it happening.
Yep.
You also mentioned the Chiefs again. I want to go back to the Chiefs real quick because Mahomes 28-41, 260 touchdown. To me, and he had a horrible game against Cleveland, but it was a 21-7 game. I don't think the weather was great. I think this team's starting to round into form now over the last 4 weeks. And I think we're starting to see who this team is. Now they got to get their run game going a little better. Pacheco needs to step it up. Pacheco's been a little slow. Maybe he hasn't gotten the workload that we wanted from a betting standpoint, but the receivers are there. Like, they're not gigantic names, but he's got guys he feels comfortable going to now. He's not turning the ball over every single game like he was the first 8 weeks of the season, it seems like. I mean, this might not be the best team without Rice, but they still might be the best team in the playoffs.
Maybe, yeah. What did Jones get hurt and leave that game?
Which Jones?
That's his last name, isn't it? That fucking stud.
What team?
That's stud defensive lineman on
Chris Jones.
Yeah,
Chris Jones.
Yeah,
well, he left, but he walked off on his own. I'll go find some information on him before you're done. He is ultimately important. Yes, I think he was fun.
They look good. I mean, Kelsey's basically just out there running, doing cardio. But I mean,
you want to know what the Twitter doctors are saying?
Yeah,
he's got a calf strain, and he could miss a couple of games.
Really?
And even if he does, they're not going to play a playoff game for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
4 weeks. So the MRI was negative. Let's see what happens with him. But
It's
at this point.
crazy the drop off in production for that defense when
Mhm.
that guy's on the field and when
Mhm.
that guy's not on the field.
Yep.
So that's something to watch.
Yep.
I'll tell you, the only thing that like I don't understand why Kareem Hunt is still continuing to get so much run.
I don't know.
Like Pacheco is so much better than Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's a stud. He's very good, and
Agreed.
he had less carries than Kareem Hunt. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. I don't know, but yeah, they have a ton of weapons. Worthy, he's been going to him a lot more lately. You got two fake Kelseys that could always get there, and Gray and Watson.
Mhm.
You cannot overstate the impact that just having that DeAndre Hopkins security blanket when you need him has been a good shot in the arm for this offense. So I'm with you. I mean, they have the pieces. They're good enough, I think, where they could go out and win another Super Bowl if Patty's locked in and that defense is playing well.
Last team I want to talk about is the Bengals. I think that everybody's lucky they're likely not making the playoffs, because if you ask me which offense is humming right now, and yes, the Bills have scored 30-plus points in like a record 9 games in a row, Burrow is playing the best quarterback out there out of anybody. 3 or more touchdowns. I believe that was the 6th straight game.
7, I think.
7 in a row now. I
Yeah.
mean, 23 of 30, 252, 3 touchdowns.
I agree. If you're saying pure quarterback position
Right
play
now.
this year, he's probably played the best at the position.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. But
yeah,
to be fair, he has 2 legitimate number ones on his team,
yeah,
and Josh Allen has none.
right.
So
But right now, Burrow's the man. Like, it is fun watching him play at
Yeah.
the level of football he's playing.
Well, like, can you imagine if Josh Allen had Jamar Chase and T. Higgins? I mean, it would be nuts too. But I
feel
agree.
Like, isn't Burrow more accurate than Allen? I'm not saying that he wouldn't be great with those two, but I feel like Burrow's more accurate. Burrow's just a better traditional quarterback. When you add in all the other stuff Allen does, I'd take Allen right now.
I would probably agree with that.
But
yeah.
Boy, is Burrow just like, I know the Bengals always get off to the slow start. It's too bad they're not going to be in the playoffs. He's awesome.
He's so good. Yeah.
Chase
I mean,
is so good.
Chase, yeah, if he had a slightly better offensive line and a defense, they would be probably the number 1 seed in the AFC this year.
Yeah. He leads the league in passing.
Yep.
So you got past Geno. He's at 42-29. He's ahead of Goff now. And then you got Chase, who's going for the Triple Crown. And every year there's another wide receiver that's the best wide receiver in the year of the year. And this year it's Jamar Chase. A couple years ago it was Justin Jefferson. Last year it was CeeDee Lamb. Every year it's different, but this year is different. Let's see here. 1,510 yards. Basically wrapped that up already. He wrapped it up. He's 100% ahead of Jefferson.
I kind of feel like Chase, JJ, and CeeDee Lamb are on their own top tier level in terms of wideouts, and then everybody else is below those 3 guys.
Yeah, I have no problem with that. I have no. The only thing I'd say about Chase being at the top right now, and him and Jefferson, Chase, you know what? No, forget it. You're right. All 3 guys are right there. All 3 guys are right there.
Yeah,
and you don't notice this, but CD is the tallest of the 3 too. Imagine if CeeDee Lamb had a real quarterback. Be good stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, so tonight we will give out that we'll announce the winner of the free subscription on Monday Night Football, so be there for that. 8:10 Eastern time is the kick. That's the first thing you're going to do. The second thing you're going to do is smash the like button. The third thing you're going to do is check out our website, newtthehouse.com. If you want a free week, Newt the Holidays is the code. If you want to pay for a month, that's awesome too. $59.99. So you got to run to Iowa right now.
Well, I mean, like not like immediately, but I'm going to work on the game plan and then, but yeah, I'll be in a room with him before the show.
Woo! We'll have some bets, some best bets coming up. So if you're a subscriber, get your notifications on because that's what's coming at you. Bunch of bets. It's going to be awesome. Stenberg, take a nap, bro. Take a nap.
Love him.
Take a nap, Stenberg.
I love him.
Just all day he's been trolling you. You haven't even been paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, listen, bro. I got bad info on the Charbonnet call. What do you want me to tell you? All right. I got bad info, Stenberg. Where do you think that info came from?
I don't know.
I'll give you one guess.
The interwebs?
We'll
leave it at that.
His nickname is Estate. All right.
All righty then. His nickname is Estate. For Keg, I'm Kush. Let's go keep nuking the house.